I'm going to do something a little bit different on this video. I'm going to give a review of Kinesis, which is a very interesting platform. I'm going to share a little bit about my experience with it. I am an amateur, I'll just tell you that. Somewhat new to crypto, although I've been following it for a long time. Obviously, I wish I had bought Bitcoin a long time ago, but that's a different story. We'll talk about it some other day. Painful story. Probably one that some of you share with me. At any rate, you may be looking at Kinesis or may want to look at Kinesis because of things like the FTX fiasco that has just occurred. And you might be looking for a way to get into the precious metals, to get access to real assets. And as near as I can tell, and I've done a little bit of due diligence, maybe a little bit more than a little bit, as near as I can tell, there is legitimately a one-to-one correspondence between the gold and silver that is represented on their site in, virtually in tokens and on their blockchain, and what is actually in vaults. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that as I go on. But first, let me give you an account of how things went when I first started. To begin with, I was able to log in just fine. The verification process was not too imposing. I thought there was a little bit of the KYC. It wasn't as bad as others that I've seen. I will say that it was very fast. I would say within a couple of hours, even though it told me it could be much longer, it wasn't. I gave them the information and within an hour or so, I was able to log into the platform. Cruised around, checked out the dashboard, and that was all right. And then I decided it was time to get some money into it. And that was where I first ran into a problem and one of the things that I didn't like. I guess you could say that I'm spoiled because with TD Ameritrade, if I wanted to send cash or withdraw cash, it was a very simple process. Couple clicks, link your account, of course. But whatever action I took, whether it was to withdraw or deposit, the transaction happened within a day, within the next day. There seems to be some sort of problem, might not be the right word. For some reason, you need to go through a 3 to 8 day process. You got to send it from your bank, and it's got to go through the ether, and they process it and then credit your account. And it actually sounds like they have to do it manually, if you can believe that. I looked into that. I wanted to do that. I had some money that I wanted to use for this purpose. I will probably learn that it was on the side of my bank. There just wasn't the necessary fields in their form for me to make sure that the money that I sent to Kinesis actually went into my account. So I'm going to follow up on that soon. But I had a friend advise me that it would probably be faster if I used crypto. So just to test things out, I transferred over just a little bit of Bitcoin. Once it was in, good to see something actually work. But then it was, okay, I want to put this Bitcoin into the gold. I wanted to buy one of these cows. I don't know how you pronounce it, K-A-U's. I've been calling it cows. I wanted to buy 1 gram. 1 cow corresponds with 1 gram of physical gold. That for my experiment, my test, that's all I wanted to do. Is I wanted to have a bit of gold. I noticed that central banks are buying it. I wanted to nibble on it. I don't really trust the ETFs. I like the fact that you can actually redeem your gold that you have with Kinesis for actual physical gold if you, of course, meet certain requirements. I really liked those things. I'm on record liking silver a lot more for a variety of reasons. I have a video about that. I'll post it in the description. But I wanted to have something in gold. So I looked everywhere for how to figure out how to get my Bitcoin into a cow. That doesn't quite sound right, but yes, I wanted to turn my Bitcoin into a cow. You can see the picture there of the exchange. It seemed like it should have been obvious, but it just wasn't. So here's where one of the nice things about Kinesis kicked in, something that I liked about it. There's a little chat window underneath almost every page. You can see it there. In this picture here, I have the arrow pointing towards it. Clicked on that, got a real person. His English was good, and he walked me through it. I still don't really know what I was doing wrong, but I was going to the exchange, and I guess I actually had to click on market after the buy sell, and then it gave me the option. After, of course, I found the cow Bitcoin currency pairing, and then it was near instantaneous. I really liked that, but I also really liked the fact that I had customer service pretty much on the spot. So speaking of the customer service, so one of the nice things about it, immediately after signing up and getting verified with Kinesis, I got an email, and I thought it was just a sort of a pro forma thing, just the thing that these kinds of companies send out with the name of an account rep. And okay, it was there, and the friend that I mentioned before said that I would be getting a rep, but I just assumed, I mean, honestly, truly, do they really care? Especially a guy like me, I've given them no indication so far that I'm a big fish or anything. I'm just playing around with the thing. But today, actually, I got a phone call from the guy that showed up on my phone as suspected spam. Just as an advisement to you, if you sign up for Kinesis and you get a call that says suspected spam, you might want to answer it. It could be your Kinesis rep. Very good English. Can't tell you how much that matters for me these days, customer service. Answered some simple questions, but all of my questions really had been answered by that point. But I was just glad to talk to him and have that experience of sort of testing to see what his level of expertise was, and he handled all my questions pretty well. So that is a real plus in my book, that customer service, they took the initiative to call me. The email that they sent to me assigning my rep was not pro forma. It was the real deal. So that's all very good. So now I have my cow, and I will be looking at this with much more interest. Now let me share with you some of the other features about this that really make this platform a selling point if you are really serious about having physical gold and silver while also playing the crypto game. So the first thing to note is they have their audits posted to their website. With what we've seen with Luna and FTX and all that stuff, it's really hard to know what you can trust. And to be honest, I'm looking at the audit. The company that did the audit seems to be totally on board and reputable. Okay, it looks legit. I'm not denying that's legit. I'm just saying that at this point in my life, I'm almost at the stage where unless I go and look at the vaults myself, I'm just not going to be 100% convinced. But the audit looks pretty good. If you look there, there's like 62 pages of that stuff. If you look at that page of that audit, it goes through the facility and lists all the assets that are in that facility and how it was stored. There are 62 pages of that you can go through. If you trust the auditing company, then you can truly believe that there really is a one-to-one correspondence between the gold and silver represented virtually in their blockchain and what is actually in their vaults. And one of the things that I liked, as I said before, is you can actually redeem the gold and silver if you have enough of it, which makes sense. And they're not the only ones that have that requirement. Sprott has requirements like that. That audit is a good sign that's posted to their website. You can look at it yourself. One of the other things that I thought was intriguing, and once again, I'm kind of that mindset these days. Unless I put my hand on the gold and silver myself, I'm just not so certain it's really there. But let's just presume that the country of Indonesia, I don't know if this is a good presumption, but Indonesia apparently has a partnership with Kinesis. Pause that and read that if you want there. So that's really interesting. So it seems to be legit. It seems to be on board, and I'm going to proceed as if it is until I see evidence otherwise. But caveat emptor, buyer beware. Everyone needs to be doing their due diligence. But it seems like a really good product. If you just sort of skim through, not just what's on their website, but once you sign up and begin browsing through the dashboard and looking at all the different features and options that are there. It's pretty versatile. I think that people with a wide variety of investment goals could benefit from Kinesis. They kind of style themselves as a all-in-one place platform, and it certainly does seem to have that capability with buying like XRP and other cryptocurrencies. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And the only downside, I think, is the awkward manner of getting actual USD fiat currency to them. Hopefully they will iron that out so it's as fast as and easy as STD Ameritrade, but I don't think I'm going to let that keep me back. So I'll just mention one thing that I did like about it, one thing that was very appealing to me. They have this virtual card. So you can actually use your gold and silver and your crypto on the internet using your virtual card, making online purchases, much like Uphold offers and others. It would appear that the fees on using that card are very competitive, if not much more advantageous than other cards. I mean, essentially, it's like a debit card, right? You're not actually taking out a loan against anything. But as far as like if you were to try to make a purchase on a website of Bitcoin, I think the fee would be much higher than if you used your virtual card. Now what I would really like to see is an actual physical card that I could take into a store. I did not see evidence on their website that exists, or even that it's coming. I'm not saying that it's not on their website. I'm just saying that I didn't see it. But that would be the icing on top to really be able to integrate this service with my daily life. All in all, I'm a fan of Kinesis. I'm a fan of its potential. It does have certain limitations in my mind. I mentioned one. There are others that hesitancies I have regarding crypto in general that Kinesis answers some of those, and some of them can't be answered at all because they're just my hesitations with the whole concept. So I'll just close it off by mentioning their referral program. And I've posted an image there of the referral. It seems kind of like it should be generous, but I mean, by all means, I hope you use my referral link, which is in the description. Help me get that half ounce of silver. But it appears that you have to do $3,000 worth of transactions. And I don't know if that's going to make sense for a lot of people, unless they are already planning on doing large value transactions. You know, they give the example of, you know, if you do a $100 transaction 30 times, they're going to give you that half ounce and me that half ounce. But obviously, I think the fees that you pay in the process are going to more than compensate them for giving you that half ounce. So I think maybe a little bit more of a generous referral program might be in order. But I understand they have to make money, and it might not matter. I mean, honestly, truly, for if you're the kind of person who thinks you're going to really use the service, you're going to really try to integrate it with your actual daily life, then $3,000 worth of transactions is nothing. For me, for my use, I plan on stockpiling gold and maybe some silver in this, so it's not necessarily for me critical to be able to have a lot of transactions. I don't anticipate that. And obviously, once I have enough gold and silver in there, $3,000 worth, and it's all moot anyway. But for you, it might work, and the referral program might be right up your alley. So thanks for sticking through this video this long. This is the Philosopher King 2.0, and I recommend Kinesis.